Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ronnie Stockholm. Welcome to the relaunch of NWC Tonight, the brand new weekly program where the National Wrestling Council will bring to you some of the best wrestling action from all over the nation. Of course, the NWC represents multiple brands here in the U.S. and around the world, including INCW, PWA, the NWCW, and others, and on a weekly basis, their talent will be showing up to show you the very best wrestling action. Tonight we've got Shade, the Cold Snakes, Forever Unchained, Brawler Beckett, and many more in action. We'll also be showing you some very interesting footage from a backstage brawl that took place in the NWC Stadium earlier this evening, and the INCW Women's Champion Nikki Wilde will be calling in to deliver a message to the NWC Nation. All right, folks, it's going to be an exciting show. Let's go ahead and take you to ringside. Our first match of the evening will be a singles contest featuring members of the Diners Club. We're going to be seeing Johnny Magnum taking on Shade. And of course, Shade, you can see there, is going to be flanked by the Devourer Chunk. Now, Shade has a very interesting history as of late in INCW. He was in the main event of Boiling Point, where he dethroned world champion Akira Wilde, but did not become the new INCW champion. Due to a stipulation, that belt was put up and later won in an elimination chamber by Bokrug. But of course, Shade is instrumental in the current state of affairs with INCW and that championship belt. And he has made a renewed commitment to be here a part of NWC, so we look forward to seeing him and the rest of the Diners Club in action in weeks to come. Now today he's going to be taking on Johnny Magnum, who, for some of you, this may be the first time seeing this young man. He's a journeyman. He's been around the world. He has a history in PWA where he went by the name Johnny Malibu until the city of Malibu sued him for copyright infringement. I didn't know that could be done. But he is an exciting high flyer, folks. He's been traveling the world, and he's here to show the NWC Nation just what he can do. A lot of colors on this young man. Certainly some high-flying skills here that are going to be on display. Of course, Shade brings his own set of skills to this arena. Johnny Magnum, folks. A lot of tassels here. And the lights have lowered in the arena, and here we have the enigmatic Shade. He's gone through some interesting transformations over his time in various organizations, including INCW. He's recently taken a trip to the dark side and spent some time in the Void Dimension, according to DA and others, where he was fundamentally changed, some say. He left Pantheon, claiming that Pantheon abandoned him in his hour of need, which set off, of course, a huge feud between him and Akira Wilde, which culminated at INCW Boiling Point, where, as we mentioned before, Shade defeated Akira Wilde, although not without controversy. We'll be revisiting that issue a bit later on today. But Shade did defeat Akira Wilde, a hand on the ropes not seen by referee Danica Rabin, but nonetheless, The championship was taken off of the waist of Akira Wilde and the members of Pantheon, but Shade said before the match that he had no desire to be champion, to hold that belt. As such, the belt was put up in an Elimination Chamber match, which was later won by Bokrug. But of course, Shade, while he may not want gold, he does want competition. And tonight he's going to get it. Johnny Magnum is quite a competitor. He has had some pretty high-profile wins in his career, but none on a stage quite this big. 1,000-yard stare from Shade as he goes into a zen-like state, ready for this match to begin. A lot of primary colors there on Johnny Magnum. Referee rings the bell, and our first match of the evening is underway. Magnum with a high knee takes Shade down. Oh, bounces off the ropes and a Pele kick. Wow, we are starting off fast and furious in this match. Shade with a forearm shot. And a kick right to the arm there. Shade, always a dangerous competitor, even more so since his unexpected trip to the Void Dimension. Magnum with a forearm. Trying for something there, but Shade manages to elbow out of it. And a backstabber right there, right to the lower spine of Shade. Going to try to regroup outside the ring. Johnny Magnum with a shot to the head. Oh, we're out there on the apron, and drops Shade spine first on the hardest part of the ring. Magnum continuing the fight outside, sends Shade right back in there. Of course, Shade, a member of the Diners Club, along with Vinny Durango, Chonk, and Gorgon Ramsay. This quartet really played a huge role in the final days of INCW's weekly broadcasts. And as you can see, Chonk is right out there accompanying him to ringside. We'll have to see if he becomes a factor as this match continues. Shade letting the crowd know that he is in complete control. Sends Magnum to the corner. And follows up with one hell of a kick there. Oh my goodness. Magnum might have lost some teeth right there. And Shade with a flipping Spanish fly. He says, this is it, folks. 1, 2, and 3. Just like that. Short and sweet. Shade has cemented himself as a major player here in NWC. Johnny Magnum did not see that coming. Quicker than a hiccup, Shade has picked up his win. He is not paid by the hour, folks. And our first match of a new era of NWC has come to its conclusion. Amazing action here from Shade, and we look forward to all of the fantastic things that he's going to be doing as he continues his journey here in NWC. And the Diners Club here. We will see additional members of the Diners Club in action this evening. In fact, it's coming up right now. Take a look at this, folks. Oh, goodness gracious. What more can be said about Vinny Durango that he isn't more than ready to say himself? Vinny Durango, the maitre d' of the Diners Club, the self-professed loudest man in the room, he's going to be taking on tonight. Well, there's kind of a history here in this match, folks. The man you're seeing coming to the ring is Mitch Garrison. But in a previous NWC broadcast, this man was masquerading as Tigger Gold. Ah, boy, there's so much to say here. So Tiger Gold was in the midst of a blood feud with the Spoiler, and in an effort to undermine his opponent's confidence, he hired a small in stature, non-trained wrestler, went by the name of Tigger Gold, who he could brutalize in a match. Vinny Durango, always looking for a chance to successfully defend his bona fide internet championship, challenged Tigger Gold to a match. However, due to his feud with Damian Black, Black paid off journeyman wrestler Mitch Mauler Garrison to dress as Tigger Gold and face Vinny Durango. Mitch beat Durango, but Vinny claims that that's only because he didn't see it coming, which is probably the biggest insult that you can give Vinny. Vinny has eyes in the back of his head. He's always got a contingency plan for everything. By the way, speaking of Vinny, let's take a look at him right here. This is one heck of an outfit. And of course, that belt that he's wearing, you might not recognize it. He calls it the Bonafide Internet Championship. It is an evolution of the defunct INCW Twitch Championship, which Vinny fished out of the garbage. He's had this new belt commissioned to walk around and hold in NWC following the close of INCW's day-to-day operations. And while we do not recognize it as a title here in NWC, and I am given assurances that we never will, it is still a part of his presentation, shall we say. Now, Vinny has challenged Mitch Garrison to this rematch, all cards on the table, as he might say, and Garrison is all more than happy to take a paycheck. He may not look like much, folks, but Mitch Garrison is a journeyman wrestler. He has been around the block more than a time or two, has a decorated history in the Prestige Wrestling Association. A lot of wins to his credit. Not many in the last few years, but he did beat Vinny Durango in their one-on-one contest in NWC just a couple of weeks ago. Durango starting off competently. Oh, look at that. Throws him down, and a vicious-looking kick to the chest. Let's take a second here and analyze Mr. Durango's attire here, because this is, this is something. He's traded in his purple for some very shiny red to match his new belt. He's got that hat and sunglasses that never seem to leave his head. Oh, goodness, a very creative knee drop right to the face of Garrison. And I've got to be honest, folks, I'm not exactly sure what to expect out of this match. Mitch Garrison is no slouch. He's 6'3", weighs 235 pounds, and Vinny Durango is still very much an X-factor. Ever since introducing his Internet Championship, he has had 2 defenses, 2 losses, but both under extenuating circumstances. We'll give him that. Looking to break the streak with his with this encounter here with Mr. Garrison. Mitch Garrison, very, very happy to be on TV. It's been a while. You'll notice that the Mauler there has a very distinctive black wristband on. It's that wrist tape there. There's long been speculation that wrist gauntlet of his is loaded, but there's not much NWC officials or anyone else can do about it. It is a medically approved implement. Much the same as Vinny's hat. I understand he's got a traumatic brain injury. Wears the hat for medical protection. More of a helmet, really. All right, let's see here. Vinny Durango taking it to the Mauler's leg. You'll notice Mauler has quite the knee brace on his right leg there. We'll have to see if Vinny decides to make a go of targeting it. Mauler really feeling it here. Sends Vinny Durango to the ropes. Shoulder-to-shoulder collision. And Vinny looks like it's woken Durango up. Vinny with a series of lefts and rights. A European uppercut to the back of the head. Oh, and look at that. Vinny going to work on that damaged leg. The 36-year-old Mauler Mitch Garrison has been in many, many battles over the years. He's holding the wrong leg, though, as he writhes around in pain. I never said he was a smart man, folks. There we go, Mitch. Sell that leg. Vinny Durango to the top rope. Mitch doesn't see him. Slowly getting to his feet. And eats a foot to the jaw. Vinny says this is it. 1, 2. And Garrison with a shoulder up. Pretty forcefully, too. He's got a lot of fight left. Oh, my goodness, what was that? Vinny Durango has just sprayed some sort of viscous fluid right in the face of Garrison. Is this it? Mitch manages to get a shoulder up, but I don't. He may want to see a specialist after that. I wouldn't want anything from Vinny Durango's mouth anywhere near my face. Vinny's got him wrapped up in a very complicated-looking leg lock there. I'm sure there's a name for it. Is Mitch going to give up? He doesn't appear quite close enough to grab for that rope, but he is making a go of it. Mitch is hanging on with everything in him. He knows that this is the best shot that he has at regaining some of that luster, some of that shine on his apple. He has a chance here to be seen in front of a national audience, and he is not going to let that go. Mitch Garrison has Vinny up in an electric chair and face plant right into the center of the ring. Vinny catches Mitch sleeping, puts a knee to his gut, kitchen sink, takes him down right in the center of the ring. And you know, it has to be said, Vinny Durango is more than he appears to be. Some people wrote him off as a bit of a, oh goodness gracious, just spiked him right on his head, and if I'm not mistaken, that maneuver may have busted Vinny open. As I was saying though, Vinny Durango is a lot more than people give him credit for. He delights in surprising those around him. But he has shown himself to be a very competent fighter. He doesn't need to do what he's doing, ladies and gentlemen. He has a very successful managerial career, but he is choosing to get in that ring to show the world what he can do in his own way. Sends Garrison right into that post. Vinny not afraid to utilize the hardware around him. Oh, he's measuring him. What's he got here? Oh, has him hooked up. Drops him face first into the ground. Wow, that might have busted the Mauler open. Folks, that might have been it. He caught Mauler sleeping. Mauler managed to roll back in the ring, but just ate this tremendous maneuver. 1, 2, and ladies and gentlemen, your winner and still bona fide internet champion, Vincent K. Durango. Goodness gracious. Of course, not without some controversy that missed to the eyes, that judicious use of hardware outside the ring, and a bit of a sucker punch, but it wouldn't be Vinny Durango if there wasn't some controversy involved. But ladies and gentlemen, the streak is over. Vinny Durango has picked up his first win on NWC television, and an impressive one that it was. Mitch Garrison came here to fight. He gave it everything he had, but oh, goodness gracious, look at Vinny's face there. He definitely came out of this with some battle wounds, and out there Tigger Gold giving him the applause there. That's kind of forgot he was there, ladies and gentlemen. And now, folks, we have a special announcement from the NWC. As you all know, the NWC is home to the NWC World Championship, the venerated title that has traveled around the various NWC represented promotions, always representing the best of the best. Currently, it is held by Angelface Damian Black, most recently defended in what some are calling the final retirement match of KB Chronic on the last edition of INCW Boiling Point. And Chronic, an amazing fight, but Damian Black was successful, and that means that he is still your reigning defending champion, and we need to determine a new #1 contender. So I'm proud to announce today that the National Wrestling Council has decided that we will have a special round-robin tournament to determine the new #1 contender to the NWC the NWC World Championship. What that's going to mean is that we're going to be choosing between 6 and 8 competitors. Details are still being worked out, but those competitors will compete in a round-robin rules tournament. In a round-robin tournament, of course, that means that everyone fights everyone. And at the end of it all, once the scores have been tallied, the wrestler with the most wins will become the official #1 contender to Damian Black's NWC Championship. It should be a fantastic contest, and I have been told that before the end of the evening, we will be naming at least one member who is going to be in that tournament. Many participants yet to be determined, but we will be announcing the first person in that tournament today. All right, folks, we're going to take you back to a very interesting encounter that happened earlier today backstage here at the NWC Stadium. Some of you may know that Danica Rabin has been a source of controversy in the halls of INCW as of late because as a referee, as a licensed official, she was instrumental in the main event of Boiling Point that saw Akira Wilde lose his championship to Shade. But as it appears, there may have been some chicanery involved there. A member of the Diners Club was seen in a backstage video giving Danica what appeared to be some form of a payoff. And Alyssa Wilde suspects strongly that Danica was paid off to tilt the match in the favor of Shade. Now, there's been a lot of back and forth over on the promo board, but the most recent situation is that Danica has been at least temporarily suspended from referee duties pending an investigation by NWC, and Alyssa Wilde isn't even waiting for that. The Wilde Academy Gymnasium, of which Danica was a member, Danica has been barred from that stadium, from that gymnasium for life. Now, Danica, you know her as a referee, but she is a trained wrestler. She has a wrestling career that extends far beyond the reaches of NWC, and we look forward to seeing her as an in-ring competitor here. But we won't have to wait to see her in combat, because earlier tonight she confronted Alyssa Wilde for banning her from the Wilde Gym, and we have footage of that confrontation right here for you today. As you can see, Danica approached Alyssa in our backstage area, and our microphones didn't pick up whatever it was that they said, but instantly they came to blows here. Just an absolute knockdown, drag-out brawl. I'm going to do my best to describe the action as it happens there, but this is always very unfortunate. Danica and Alyssa Wilde are both professionals. They both have illustrious careers in their various fields, and to see it break down like this, this is what you call a communication breakdown, ladies and gentlemen. Alyssa, with a snap suplex on that unforgiving concrete. Danica, though, manages to fire back. For a lot of you, this might be the first chance that you've had to see Danica in competition, as it were. She is a very talented grappler. She had already signed her NWC talent contract and was preparing to be booked here on INCW. In fact, she would have been here tonight were it not for this unfortunate altercation that resulted in a change of plans, let's say. Danica going for an enziguri out there by those boxes, but caught by Alyssa Wilde, who drops her in a violent, very rude brainbuster, again, right on that concrete. Alyssa with a kick to the knee, follows it through, floats over into a Greco-plex. Goodness gracious. These two women are absolutely going at it tooth and nail. No love loss here whatsoever. Honestly, Danica, a longtime friend and acquaintance, at least, of the Wilde family, was in fact received part of her training from Rebel Wilde, Alyssa's older brother. And Danica, with a vicious driver, just takes Alyssa down. And goodness gracious, would you look at that? Danica's got a shovel, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever decorum she possessed, her patience is at an end. Danica with a drop kick. Alyssa falling back first on the head of that shovel. That can't feel good. And another short brainbuster right on that concrete. Goodness gracious, these two are going to need medical attention by the time we're finished. Alyssa floats over into a cattle mutilation style submission. This is not to win a match. This is simply to cause pain and discomfort, folks. Oh, goodness gracious. Danica fires out with a shot, an elbow to the face, manages to fight her way out. But Alyssa with a Russian leg sweep, just smashing the back of Danica's head against those crates there. Oh, but Danica catches her in a power bomb. My goodness. And she's got a baseball bat, ladies and gentlemen. Danica has a baseball bat. What is she going to do with that? Looks like nothing. It looks like she thought about it, but then realized that she didn't want to escalate it. She may regret that restraint. Oh, goodness gracious. Just a huge suplex DDT. And Alyssa drives that ankle into the concrete there. Alyssa knows a thing or two about leg injuries. Recently, she was rehabilitating an injury that she received at the hands of Anna Sokolov. Alyssa snapmares Danica over and once again locks in that cattle mutilation style submission hold. And Danica tapping her feet, requesting to be let go. This is not a match, folks, but if it was, Danica is saying, I have had enough. And honestly, Alyssa has been the aggressor throughout this whole thing. She has that hot, wild temper. Both her and her brother and her niece, pretty much everyone in the Wild family has been known to be just absolutely hot-headed when it comes to expressing their frustrations. It's gotten them all into trouble before. And with these baseball bat shots to the ribs, it's getting her in trouble right now. Danica just going to town on Alyssa Wilde. Oh, and a shot to the head as well. Alyssa manages to cut the offense off with a... Oh, and just like that, a surgical strike straight into the ground. And that's it, folks. That was one heck of an encounter, and you know that this isn't the end of things for those two. I'm sure we'll be seeing them in an NWC ring as soon as they have convalesced from the various injuries that they've inflicted upon each other. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take you to a tag team affair. We have the Cold Snakes taking on Forever Unchained's Spoiler 3 and Derek Arzon. These teams definitely know each other, not only from INCW, but from the Prestige Wrestling Association as well. Derek Arzon with a long history with the Cold Snakes that I don't think I'll be getting into right now. Just know that there's a whole Wikipedia page devoted to it, ladies and gentlemen. Goodness gracious. Junior Cobra, in particular, has a history with Derek Arzon. The two of them go way back. You could call them old friends, but that was long before Derek Arzon's current... we'll call it his attitude adjustment. As soon as he aligned himself with the Spoiler and Nikki Wilde, he definitely took on some darker tones. And those tones have shown him a tremendous amount of success. Not only did he leave PWA as the light heavyweight champion, a belt that he still holds, still retains to this day, but he left INCW as the open weight champion. And not only that, but during his time in INCW, he and the Spoiler had a very successful reign as tag team champions as well. These two are absolutely vicious competitors, willing to do just whatever it takes to get victory over their opponents. Forever Unchained, in fact, has had just an absolutely stellar year. Between the many victories, the tag team victories, the open weight victories, and of course Nikki Wilde's women's championship reign, her forever reign as she calls it. Forever Unchained has been just a dominant force. In fact, one might argue the dominant force in INCW since their inception. Will that dominance continue here in NWC? Tonight will be the first test. The Cold Snakes are an unpredictable duo, and it's going to take a different kind of mindset for Derek and Spoiler to be successful here. Looks like we're starting out with Junior Cobra and the Spoiler in the ring together. Cobra goes for Spoiler, but Spoiler just too big, shoves him away. Oh, and just a vicious knuckle arrow style punch to the crown. Cobra is down, and folks, he might be out. One thing about Junior Cobra, he is never the biggest dog in any fight that he's in. Cobra gamely fighting out. again, tries to get something going with Spoiler, just shoves him away, and then Cobra just eats a huge boot right to the crown. Spoiler probably not quite taking his opponent seriously at this point, really playing to the crowd. Not something that's usually in Spoiler's playbook. Big fall-away slam sends the diminutive Cold Snake back to the FU side of the ring and into the waiting arms of Derek Arzon, who sets Cobra up. Spoiler tags out to Derek Arzon. Cobra in a very compromised position already in the early goings. Follows Cobra to the apron. Cobra in deep water here. And he gets dropped spine first on the hardest part of the ring. Oh, good gravy. Junior Cobra, arguably perhaps the smallest man in all of the NWC at the moment. But what he lacks in size, he makes up for in attitude, agility, speed, and some might say irritation. He is an aggravating individual to hold a conversation with. Cobra with some innovative offense, a bit of a corkscrew leg, call it what you will, folks. Trying to turn his fortunes around. Sends Derek Arzon shoulder first into that announce table and follows through with a huge headbutt. Neither man really paying attention to the referee there, both sliding in just under the 10 count. We could have seen a quick end to this. Arzon twisting Cobra's arm around. As you all know, Derek Arzon favors the arm blitz, that Fujiwara-style arm bar that he has used to win just about every championship that he's acquired in this in all of the affiliate organizations in NWC. Arzon with an elbow. Cobra trying to make use of his corner there, but Arzon just too fresh, too strong. Tags out to Spoiler, who is going to do what he can to keep Cobra from making that essential tag. Outside the ring, Giant Anaconda eagerly looking for a tag. Anaconda in to break things up. They call him Giant Anaconda, folks, but I don't know if you can truly appreciate how large this man is until you're standing right there with him. The Spoiler stands probably right around the 6'7", 6'8" mark, and tips the scales at the mid-300s, but he looks almost like a small man when standing right next to Giant Anaconda, who is one of the largest men this organization or any other has ever seen. Cobra still unable to gain any ground on Spoiler. Anaconda in to save his man. Cobra desperately needs a tag as soon as he can do it. Giant Anaconda has not yet had a chance to get into this match. Cobra eats a vicious knee, and by the way, got to call out the amazing teamwork here between the members of Forever Unchained. We have frequent tags. We have taking full advantage of the 2-on-1 advantage here. These two men utilizing every tag team tactic at their disposal. Look at that. Arzon just staring Anaconda down, daring him to come in, and not even waiting. Look at that. A shot to the eyes there. And he drops the big man spine first on the apron. Going to prevent Cobra from being able to even consider a tag. Cobra out there trying to protect his friend Anaconda. Big time headbutt to Derek Arzon takes him down. Trying to get fired up through the crowd. Cobra a popular young man. Arzon sends him head first into that barricade though. And then once again goes at Anaconda. They have a strategy here. Cut off Cobra. Do not allow him to tag. Do not let his partner be anywhere near where a tag could happen. Cobra goes for a Hurricane Rana, whiffs it completely. Oh, but then makes up for it on the rebound. Hurricane Rana takes Derek Arzon down. Can Cobra make that desperately needed tag? He's taking Derek to the corner, slams him head first. Oh, but Arzon cuts him off, but he gets a shot from Anaconda for his trouble. Cobra with a surprise DDT. He is hammering on Arzon. Arzon is in the wrong part of town, and he's got his nose, ladies and gentlemen. He's got his nose. Big chop to the head. Cobra is feeling it. Junior Cobra is on fire. Second, DDT takes down the smaller member of Forever Unchained, and Cobra makes the tag to Giant Anaconda. The big man is in the ring. He has Derek Arzon, folds him in half. Huge capture suplex sends Derek Arzon into the Cold Snake's corner. Big time headbutt. We all know Anaconda loads that mask, ladies and gentlemen. Anaconda weighs 400 pounds. 150 of that is in that mask. Anaconda going for a suplex, but Arzon able to reverse it. Can Arzon make it to his corner to make that crucial tag to the larger Spoiler 3? Spoiler reaching for it. And both members tagged out. I have to question the Cold Snake's wisdom there. Junior Cobra attempted cave-in. I think he didn't get all of that. But it was enough to get Spoiler at least off his feet. Sends him out. And Cobra with a huge shoulder block inside to outside. Spoiler was busy jawing at the crowd. Spoiler drops Cobra face first on the barricade. And again, much like, he throws Anaconda in. He's not going to wait for a tag. Spoiler's going to do what he can to neutralize Cobra's tag team partner so he can't make it in there. Cobra, using his own body to try to protect Anaconda, takes the bullet, manages to eat a double axe handle intended for his partner. Spoiler goes for the pin. 1, 2. Anaconda barely in time to make the save. Cobra trying to do something here. Wheelbarrow Bulldog into a DDT. Cobra trying to get Spoiler to his own corner. Sends him headfirst into the turnbuckle. Tags out to the big man. Double shots to the stomach. Sandwich right in the middle of the ring. And another one for good measure to each other. These two are on fire and the crowd loves it. Anaconda for the pin. 1, 2. Spoiler with a shoulder up at 2 1/4. Not a lot behind that kick out. Folks, this is just an absolutely fantastic match between 4 amazing competitors. Right there. The Spoiler has him. Spoiler alert right in the corner there. 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, I think Anaconda, yes, he grabbed the bottom rope. Oh, wow. If it hadn't been for that, folks, this match would have been over. Cobra was in no position to make a save, and no one kicks out of the Spoiler alert. The Spoiler just choking the holy heck out of Anaconda on the ground. And a second time. Spoiler is frustrated, folks. He does not like it when the Spoiler alert... and look at that. Cobra in for a save. Cobra flies in from the other side of the ring. And the Spoiler has left any semblance of a wrestling match at the door, folks. He is just beating the heck out of Giant Anaconda. Tearing at that mask. And a big clothesline takes him down. Tags out to Derek Arzon as Anaconda makes a tag to Cobra. But Arzon smashes him into the corner. Oh, goodness, that's... and chokes him as well. Oh, no. Junior Cobra is in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. I've been saying that a lot. The Cold Snakes have been kind of in trouble here, and not for lack of trying. FU is just such a well-oiled machine. And right there, Derek Arzon with the arm blitz. This could be it, folks. At this late stage of the game, Cobra may not have what it takes. Anaconda is outside the ring, struggling to try to get in and help his partner, but this might be it, folks. Referee checking in. Is Cobra going to tap? And no, Anaconda manages to, at the 11th hour, save his partner there, but I think that Anaconda is hurt. He managed to have just enough energy to get in the ring there, but he is dazed. Folks, I think Anaconda might be... He is completely unconscious outside the ring as Derek Arzon is really, really taking it to Junior Cobra. Head first into the steps, and then just throws him across the floor there. Anaconda's up, but oh, look at that. Yeah, Anaconda's not doing well, folks. Arzon is taking advantage of that too, trying to oh, both of them with the same idea, some flying offense that went nowhere. Cobra into the steps once again. And could Derek Arzon be thinking count out? Again, just continued shots to Anaconda, who may be concussed. It's I gotta say, that's he's not looking himself there. Cobra sends Arzon to the ropes, ducks down, comes back with a drop kick, but Arzon's able to duck away from the majority of it. Goes for a pin. Nothing doing though. Anaconda there to break it up. Dazed or not, Anaconda is a loyal partner. And Cobra manages to tag to Anaconda. Anaconda's in the ring, and oh, folks, Arzon went for the eyes, gouged Anaconda's eyes. Anaconda fell like a sack of potatoes. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Forever Unchained. I'm going to need to see that from a different angle, but it looked to me like Arzon put his thumbs in Anaconda's eyes, because Anaconda hit the mat. He was in pain there. Look at that. Yep, he raked the eyes, went for the pinfall there. Anaconda wasn't in any position to kick out. Ladies and gentlemen, a dirty win by Forever Unchained, and don't they look proud of themselves. Derek Arzon and the Spoiler have to be thinking that in whatever form it arrives, the NWC will have a tag team championship that's defended on this show. And you know that they've got to be thinking that that's something that they would love to have in their stable. Ladies and gentlemen, Forever Unchained. And now, folks, for something a little bit different, just before our show went on the air today, I looked down at my cell phone and I had a text message from the White Rabbit, Nikki Wilde, our current INCW Women's Champion, and she demanded a little bit of airtime today to air some grievances and to, in her own words, set things straight with the NWC Nation. So I'm going to be putting her on the line in just a moment here, and I apologize for whatever she says.
Hello? This thing on? Testing 1, 2, 3. Screw it. The reception sucks, Ronnie. What kind of frickin' railroad they running around here? Now, all right, listen up, NWC Nation. It's come to my attention that some of you dweebs might not know who the frick I am. Some of you losers didn't watch INCW, and you don't realize that the NWC has acquired the services of the best damn women's champ in the history of the biz. That's right, dillweeds. The White Rabbit, Nikki Wilde, is in the house, and you better pay attention, because I waltzed into this stadium with the one and only official INCW Women's Championship over my shoulder. You don't realize what a big deal that is? PWA didn't have a women's division, neither did NWCW. This belt is the only game in town. So if you think for one frickin' second that I'm gonna let the NWC put the only women's title in the company out to pasture just because KB Chronic decided to go sip margaritas in the tropics, you've got another thing coming. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still this dog and pony show's women's champ. Now, I might be on the shelf for a couple more weeks thanks to that icebox Anna Sokoloff, but you'd better believe that when I come back, I'm bringing this gold with me. Anyone want to make something of it? Come find me. But you best not try to ring on my parade, because I'm Nikki frickin' Wilde, and I get what I want. Okay, I'm out of here. Throw it back to you, Necktie.
Nikki Wilde, ladies and gentlemen. Now, moving on to additional competition here, we have a pretty interesting singles match. We have Bartholomew Brawler Beckett, making his NWC Tonight debut, taking on newcomer Raka Singh. Now, Singh is part of our NWC India initiative. This young man is an absolute brick of a human being, just a hugely muscular, powerful young man with just an amazing amount of potential. When Brawler Beckett found out that he was going to be taking on a rookie with very little experience, he was very excited. And, of course, then he saw Singh face-to-face and was immediately complaining to the NWC management, saying that it simply was not fair for him, of course, to have to go against somebody as seasoned and experienced and brittle-boned as Brawler Beckett. So this should be a fantastic match. Beckett, his attitude notwithstanding, he is an absolutely tremendous competitor. Just one of the best technicians, old-school technicians that you're ever going to see. Of course, to appreciate that, you do have to put up with the attitude. Brawler Beckett, of course, otherwise known as Your Mother's Champion, has, as of late, been making some very interesting overtures toward the certain female members of the INCW women's roster. One in particular. It's unfortunate, but I'm sure she can handle herself. Brawler Beckett, he is a decorated competitor, multiple organizations, had a stellar career in PWA, and a career in INCW as well, mainly serving as a thorn in the side of KB Chronic. In fact, as ironic as it may seem, KB Chronic's final act as a company owner may have been to inadvertently bring Brawler Beckett out of retirement, because he was long gone before KB practically insisted that he get back in the ring. I wonder how KB feels about that. The bell is rung and we are underway. Singh wasting no time in manhandling Brawler Beckett. Big stomp to the chest. All of Singh's 260 plus pounds. Oh, that's kind of a rude gesture for that young man. Never said he's a saint, folks. Just said that he's got a lot of potential. Raka Singh with a knee shiver right to the face of Beckett, and Beckett immediately regretting coming out of retirement. Singh with a bulldog drives Beckett head first into the ground. This may not last long, folks. No man can take very many shots like that and remain vertical. Singh goes for pin. One. Only a one count. Beckett kicked out on instinct, if nothing else. But instinct will only get you so far. Brawler Beckett manages to wrap his hand around the massive throat of Singh and drive him to the mat, letting the fans know that he is in complete control, despite appearances to the contrary. And a big stunner across the top rope sends Beckett to the outside. Oh, goodness me. Brawler Beckett using his speed, German suplex on the unforgiving ground. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that the NWC Stadium hosts hockey, regional hockey on the weekends, and underneath this mat is a foot of ice, folks. Very unforgiving surface there. I'll mention that in every show because it is it's an interesting factoid. Brawler with a series of chops sends Singh out to the ground. Oh, what's he going to do, folks? What's he doing? He's measuring him. Oh, a kick south of the border. And, oh, an apron power bomb. Oh, my goodness. That is a vicious maneuver from a dastardly villain. Singh trying to recover, trying to not let the experienced Brawler Beckett gain any momentum. Sends Beckett into the barricade, but Beckett able to get out of the way, reverse Singh's momentum. And he drops him groin first right on his knee. Oh, Brawler Beckett is quite fond of maneuvers that target the softest and most vulnerable parts of the anatomy. Beckett sent into the barricade. Singh doing very well for himself. Beckett still fighting out of a bit of a hole there. Just the tremendous power of this young man. Singh with a very unique submission hold. Not quite sure what's happening there. but Beckett manages to reverse out of it. Beckett is a seasoned submission expert, the Pax Britannica, one of the most deadly submission finishers in all of professional wrestling. Beckett with a series of short kicks to the bridge of the nose, goes for a roundhouse, Singh ducks under it, sends Beckett to the corner, follows up with just a sandwich-style lariat, but takes a moment to showboat to the crowd and gets dropped groin first right on Beckett's knee. He's stunned and Beckett goes for the pin, and that is all she wrote. He pretty much exploded this young man's nether regions across his knee, and that's what happens. That's the experience of the veteran brawler Beckett, using his body to shield his actions from the ref. 1, 2, 3, your winner in his NWC Tonight debut, Brawler Beckett, and he is proud of himself. Look at that. It's like he won the World Series, folks, like he just earned himself a Super Bowl ring. Any win is a win, according to Bartholomew Brawler Beckett. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sticking with us. We are now getting ready for our main event of the evening. We have singles competition, in which the all-new, all-different Tiger Gold will be taking on the Blueprint Spencer Watts. This should be an absolutely fantastic encounter, folks, between two men who we look forward to seeing really big things from here in NWC. Now, for those of you who followed INCW this past season, Tiger Gold went through somewhat of a metamorphosis after having his sacred tiger mask stolen by the Spoiler 3 and having been humiliated by him through a series of dastardly deeds. Tiger Gold was emotionally broken, and thanks to an old friend of his coming to his aid, he was given a new mask. And this new visage, this new jade and gold visage here, and Tiger Gold returned stronger than ever, definitely more vicious than ever. He is a changed man in many ways. We saw him in War Games on the last episode of INCW, and it's like he's fighting like a man possessed. There are a lot of questions as to what the future holds for Tiger Gold and how the loss of his original mask might affect him psychologically. Perhaps we'll see some evidence of that here in tonight's match. Certainly a new look, definitely a new attitude, and we'll see if that results in a career win here, or if there is still some growth left before he recovers from the psychological scars he was put through by the Spoiler. And on the other side of the ring, we have the Blueprint, Spencer Watts, someone who returned, made a surprise return at Boiling Point after quite an absence. This is a decorated veteran from INCW and PWA, an old friend of KB Chronics. This young man is an absolutely stellar in-ring competitor, and we are so excited to welcome him to the NWC fold. This charismatic, intense individual is just a fantastic technician in the ring, and we are in for a treat, folks. We could not ask for a better main event to the first episode of this newly relaunched NWC Tonight. The master of the dead to rights suplex, the endgame submission hold, the flying headbutt, Spencer Watts is on his back. Tiger Gold with a huge hammer fist that takes Spencer Watts off his feet. Watts sends Tiger in and comes back with a big knee to the jaw. Spencer floats around into a crucifix, slams Tiger's shoulders to the mat. Spencer Watts giving up a lot of height and a lot of weight. Watts standing about 5'9", 5'10", not the biggest dog in the fight. Tiger Gold closer to that 6'5" mark. Spencer Watts possibly giving up as many as 60 or 70 pounds to the large Tiger Gold. But of course, as this goes into the deep water, as this match extends into the late innings, you got to think that's going to favor Spencer Watts. Watts, several years younger, several fewer miles on the bones when compared to Tiger Gold. Tiger Gold, of course, with over 30 years of in-ring history in promotions all around the world, has won championships pretty much everywhere that he's gone, most recently the PWA Heavyweight Championship just a couple of years ago. Tiger Gold hammers Spencer Watts down with a huge axe handle. And look at that shocking agility for a man of that size. A flipping senton and a big boot walks him dry outside the ring. Goodness. Watts trying to fire back. He does not want to let Tiger Gold gain any momentum there. Watts with a suplex takes Gold down, and he is daring him to get up. Spencer Watts has, look at that, he's got a huge smile on his face. He is glad to be back. He is excited to be in the NWC and back on the national stage after spending some time overseas. Tiger Gold drives Spencer Watts shoulder first into that barricade and begins to go to work on that arm. Spencer Watts, of course, needs that arm in order to properly lock in the endgame. Discus punch to the jaw of Spencer Watts as Gold just works him over on the outside. And yes, I'm definitely detecting quite a vicious streak here with Tiger Gold. Gold having no problem just slamming Watts again and again into that hard, unforgiving surface of the floor. Sends Watts into the barricade. Watts manages to fight back. He's in no man's land out there. Turns the table, sends Gold into the barricade himself, makes it back into the ring. That count has got to be nearing 10. Daring Gold to follow him. Yes, indeed. Gold managed to slide in just before the count of 10. Watts with a hard elbow to the corner. Spencer Watts is a kinetic machine. When he gets that momentum going, he is nearly unstoppable. Tiger Gold needs to cut that off. Gold sends Watts to the ropes. Twists him around. Big time Tiger Bomb. Tiger Gold feeling it. But Watts manages to cut off that momentum, sends him to the ropes. Arm drag, takes the big man over, goes for a quick pin. Watts with a 1 count. Going to take a lot more than that to keep a man of this size down. But Spencer Watts calling to the crowd, letting him know that he has energy for days. Oh, big headbutt with that jade and gold tiger mask. Tiger Gold heaves Spencer Watts across the ring. Is it funny, folks, that you got a guy called Tiger Gold and a guy called the Blueprint, and there's very little gold or blue anywhere in this ring? I guess it's metaphorical. Spencer Watts, 2 count. Manages to get his shoulder up. A lot of energy expended there every time he's got to kick out with a man bordering on 300 pounds leaning on him. Gold calling to the heavens. Of course, we all know that he gets his powers from the gods and ancestors that he believes in. You have to wonder how they feel about his new attitude. Spencer Watts, neck breaker on the larger man. That neck has taken a lot of punishment over the years, Tiger Gold's. Spencer Watts with a straightjacket suplex takes Gold down. Oh, and he's going to the top rope. Are we going to see that wonderful flying headbutt of his? Nope. Gold is to his feet. Watts readjusting. Big time clothesline takes the big man down. Excellent match, ladies and gentlemen. Thought he was going for a DTR suplex there, but changed gear halfway through, dropped him on his knee. Stomps Gold, stomps a mud hole in him and walks it dry. And now takes a turn at working on the massive arm of Tiger Gold. And a big knee drop to the face of the masked monster. Oh, Watts trying to push his advantage, but Gold manages to shift gears, to shift things in his direction, and just takes him down with a huge discus right hand. Watts is going to take a moment outside the ring to try to regroup, but Gold isn't going to give him the time. They're both outside the ring. What is Gold planning on doing here? Hurricane Rana, goodness gracious, for a man that size to leave his feet the way that he does. Oh, from the apron, huge clothesline, just destroys Spencer Watts on the floor. And Gold not done. Picks him up. Gigantic power bomb. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to think that Spencer Watts is in a deep hole right now. What are the odds that the Blueprint can find a way to rally? Well, if anyone can do it, he can. Spencer Watts thrives on fighting from underneath. Big leg drop. 300 pounds dropped across the throat and chest of the Blueprint. Spencer Watts is in deep trouble, folks. Gold starting to crank on that leg. Really starting to feel it. Watts kicks Gold off. And he's calling to the crowd. Oh, it looks like he's building momentum, folks. Gold reverses it, sends him to the corner. Watts out of the way. Big kick to the side of Gold's head. Gold is dazed. Watts sends him to the ropes and kitchen sink right to the guts. And he just rains right hands deep into the mask of Tiger Gold. Spencer Watts has managed to make up a lot of the ground that he lost earlier in this night. Can he close the deal? Tiger Gold reeling. Watts follows him out to the apron, picks him up, drops him spine first on the hardest part of the ring, folks. And Watts follows him straight out, pressing that advantage. Watts is ahead right now, and he knows that he can't afford to let one move go here. Watts with a suplex, teardrop suplex, takes Gold down. And Watts rolls Tiger Gold back in the ring. Does he have what it takes to finish this off? Heads to the top rope. Big time elbow drop to the kidneys of the masked man. And he is measuring Tiger Gold. He's measuring his man. And look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, endgame. Endgame. Gold is close to the ropes, but he can't see it. He doesn't know. He doesn't know where he is. Tiger Gold is deep in the endgame, ladies and gentlemen. And Tiger Gold has tapped out. Folks, Spencer Watts, the Blueprint, Spencer Watts is victorious in a tremendous main event match here on the first episode of the relaunched NWC Tonight. Spencer Watts has not lost a step, and he tapped out a very experienced, very game Tiger Gold. Now, what does this mean for Gold on his journey? With this new attitude of his, he has absorbed a loss. Not that it's ever any shame to lose to a man the caliber of Spencer Watts, a multiple former world champion. Look at that. Watts is very happy with himself, as well he should be. The NWC crowd loves this young man, and I'm looking forward to seeing some fantastic things from him in the future. And we won't have to wait long because, as I mentioned, we have an announcement to make here. The first member of the NWC number one contenders tournament is to be announced tonight, and without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is Spencer Watts. With his victory over Tiger Gold, he has cemented his position in this very special round-robin tournament. There's many more competitors to be revealed as we move forward, so please stay tuned. And with that, this is Ronnie Stockholm. That is all we have for you this evening. Thank you so much for joining us on this newly relaunched NWC Tonight. We look forward to continuing to bring to you fantastic action every Friday here at NWC Tonight, featuring competitors from the INCW, NWCW, and PWA, and beyond. This is going to be a wonderful place to see some fantastic wrestling action, so please do tune in. So once again, from all of us here at the NWC to all of you, have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next week.